Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you and you and you and you. Welcome to TMW Online, the Melanated Way. I am Linda. That is Abby. We are covering all things 90 Day Fiancé, the original, season 12, episode 5. And the title, I cannot remember, but it's something like something old, something new. Listen, you guys, I have so many thoughts, and it's only episode 5 right now that we're covering. And what were your overall thoughts of this episode?
This episode could have been called Welcome to America. Confrontations that need not be.
Yeah, and I don't know, you guys. I think we should start putting some predictions in, because these couples, I just don't know. Are they going to go the whole way? Let's talk about it as we cover each couple.
Okay.
Oslo. All right. So we start off with Edward and Marissa. And your thoughts on Edward and Marissa? Are they going to make it, or are they going to not make it?
I think that they're going to make it. My bigger issue is Receipt. No, wait, I'm getting them mixed up. Edward and Marissa. Edward's from the DR and Marissa is up in New York / Pennsylvania, right?
Yes.
Okay. I got them mixed up. With Receipt and the other girl. Anyway, okay. So are they going to make it? I think that they're going to make it on the strength of Edward being adaptable for a time, but they're not going to make it once Edward is able to have any kind of independence whatsoever. Her behavior in this episode is not indicative to me of someone that a man from the kind of culture that Edward is from, and he has not shown us that he is different from the machismo that exists in that culture, is not going to be able to withstand.
Okay. I don't think they're going to make it the long haul. That's my opinion. I think that they're too different, and they're too. I actually don't understand this relationship. I don't understand what is drawing them together besides sexual chemistry. What is he bringing to the table that she is enjoying, and what is she getting out of him? Because they just live two different lives. He's never been in a BMW. You know, he gets in the car. They don't wear seatbelts in the DR, according to him. He, to me, is giving pool boy, kept guy vibes. And my question to you all is love enough? Is love enough? And maybe the things that I look for are not important to her, or maybe the things that are important to her are not important to me. But I think that they come from two separate worlds, and maybe they can adapt to each other, and maybe that's going to be enough. But my question to you, question of the day, is love enough for your relationship to go the long haul? Because really, they're just so different. Yeah. He comes from like a melting pot of people that are lively, where they talked about music and speakers outside. He rolls up into Pennsylvania, and she literally says, "You're probably going to be the only Dominican that lives in this area." And he's like, "Oh, mucho blanco." And she's like, "Yes." And that's going to be a culture shock for him. And where is he going to get his support? And who is he going to lean on when he's just arrived, besides her and her kids? And they get to the house, and he thinks that the house looks like Home Alone, and he's not wrong. And he's never had a house before. He's never even had an apartment before. So now he's like, I have this house. That's going to be a transition. And it's going to be a major transition, you guys, because like I always say, money is important. And if you guys are not on the same page with money, then you're not equally yoked. And if you haven't had the discussion on top of it, and one person has money and you don't, is it your money? Is it their money? Is it our money? that's a conversation that I know that they have not had. And that being said, her last relationship failed because her ex-husband didn't feel like he was up to par, because not only is this her money, it's generational money, it's family money. And his experience, the ex's experience with the family and the family money, is they made him feel like he wasn't good enough because he didn't have the money that they had. Any thoughts before I move on with them?
Yeah, I'm wondering what's going on with Marissa. Is there any particular reason why her ex-husband and now her new partner are people who do not seem to be at her level? Is she purposefully looking for people who, I'm going to say that he's beneath her, but not as successful as her? Is there something happening that she does not want to find someone who's in her same plane of success?
I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying, though. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So when I say, what is it that he's bringing to the table that she isn't loving, and vice versa? Because I can understand what he's getting out of it. What is she getting out of it that, like you said, is obviously this is a type of person that you are going for, and what is it about that type of person? So they get to the house, and she is one of us. And by one of us, I mean like me, where she's like, you got to take your shoes off in the house. And he thinks it's weird. And I do not believe that Mr. Dominican Republic wears his outside shoes in his house or wherever he was living. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I know those Dominicans are just as strict as anyone else. But he's like, that's weird. All these rules as soon as I get into the house. And there were more rules because she talked about closet space. She has these huge closets. She only gave him 2 little rods in one of her closet. There's a shared bathroom that she didn't let her ex use, but she's going to see how it goes. But even in the shared bathroom, she has a rule that she has one shower. He has to use the other shower. And then they talked a little bit about shower sex. She doesn't like it. He does. And she just thinks that it's like awkward and not a thing. And I wanted to ask you, Abby, what are your thoughts on shower sex?
Shower sex is fine, particularly during a time of the month where it's best to be in the shower. But she seems very rigid right now. Maybe it's just because like she's trying to introduce him to the house, but like, can we just walk around without having the rules for a moment? Because this is like it makes her seem really rigid.
The vibe that I got is that she's a CEO and she likes things a specific way, and part of, I think, that organizational mindset of entrepreneurs and CEOs is having, this is how I like it, and this is how it gets done, and this is how it moves forward. But
yeah,
that was my opinion.
It just feels really harsh though, right? All at once.
I mean, I don't get that vibe, and I think it's because he's just from a different background. So how would he know? So she's trying to teach him as she goes. And like, when would she tell him? If he's already there a week, I would be like, well, why didn't you say this in the beginning? You're now just telling me.
I wrote in my notes that the way that she's giving him all these rules right now feels really harsh, but I don't know how to fix it. I feel like maybe just a little tour around the house first, and then, okay, now let me tell you how I like some things, but let me just walk you around first. I don't know. It just feels really harsh, but maybe it's just me.
I don't know. Hey, Lori. Oh, I don't know. So she's taking around the house. So one of the things that I thought was interesting that just goes into all the things I'm seeing about this couple is, in 2026, it's not called the master bedroom anymore. And I just need you guys to know that. And there's a whole American segregation, slavery story behind it. And if you want to look it up, you can. But they're called primary bedrooms now. But throughout everywhere else in the world, they're called principal bedrooms, and I just want you guys to know that. It's a fun fact, and maybe start using that. Sounds way better. Master bedroom.
Good luck. They still like using plantations as wedding venues.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing it. Yeah. Just so they get settled, he showers, and they're getting ready for their first night together. And, you know, his big accomplishment is that he got circumcised. And so he wanted to show, that was his big like reveal to her. And he was really excited and was hoping that she would be super excited about it. And yeah, they had a test drive, and now it's the next day. It's their first morning together in Pennsylvania. They have 89 days to get married. This is where I think like they talked about the sex being great that first night and in the morning. And I think that that's what it is. I think that that's what it is. I think that she chooses men that she is highly sexually compatible with and thinks that that's going to be enough.
Okay. Maybe.
I mean, because I'm trying to figure it out. What else can it be? And if you guys have any suggestions or ideas, feel free to let us know in the live chat or in the replay. I want to hear your thoughts as well, because I just don't know what else it could be. Maybe he has a great personality.
But the thing is, like, she could have just kept visiting the DR.
Oh, we're going to talk about that shortly. So she is definitely like a regimented person. So she does protein shakes. She does coffee in the morning, no real breakfast. She did have these pre-cooked eggs, which were in these little plastic things. I would never. And I agree with Edward. He's like, what is this? It takes like 5 minutes. And she's like, a person like me, I don't have 5 minutes to cook eggs. But don't you? Don't you? There are these new, I even saw, there's so much technology now. You literally can put these eggs in this egg maker, set the time for when you want the eggs to be made in the morning, wake up and boom, they're made. So I'm just trying to figure out prepackaged eggs. You know how many preservatives and other stuff has to be in that for those eggs to stay good? Are you like, you?
I don't know. I mean, like, I know that a lot of pre-cut, pre-packaged food was a part of the movement for the disability community to be able to access food stuff, but her saying she doesn't have time to boil eggs, that part doesn't really make sense to me, because she has the ability to make whatever schedule she wants. So she could say, I choose not to make time for this, but I don't have time for it. Doesn't feel true. She's the master of every single company that she's involved in. She could choose what she makes time for.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but I also think you guys, all the prepackaged stuff and the fast, all the stuff, it's too much. Or that's, I won't get started because I know I talked about it last time. I'm just worried for you Americans. I'm worried about the stuff that you eat on a regular basis. That's all. Lori is asking, what did you say the primary is called in other countries? The primary in other countries are called principal. They're the principal bedrooms. So they have the eggs. They have these cold eggs. He's like, yeah, no, this is weird. I like hot eggs. And she then says that she doesn't like hot eggs. She only eats cold eggs. But I think it's because she conditioned her mind that these are the type of eggs she eats all the time. Joslo said, did you see her almost slap his wrist when he's like, oh, chocolate, just like her kids? 100%. 100%. And I feel like it's going to be that type of situation, you guys, because I think she might start resenting him while he can't work and she has to take care of him. He can't drive, right? And they're in the middle of nowhere. He can't work. So he's going to be heavily relying on her. And I do think that maybe we answered our own question, Abby. Maybe it's the power dynamic. Maybe she likes having a sense of like power or domination or importance. Do you think that might be it?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to watch more and see, because it's just weird that I already feel like she resents having someone in her space just from this episode. I haven't watched Beyond, you guys. She resents having someone in her space. So she could have just kept visiting him in the DR, but she's the one who applied for the K for him to come. So I'm going to wait for it to unravel and figure out what is going on up here with her.
Yep. I second that motion. So he's excited about the little things, the tapping the sink and the water comes out, and just like tapping it again or motioning and then the water comes out. Little things that he has never seen before was really tickling him. And I thought that that was kind of adorable, because to see someone experience things first time is always interesting to me. And then this is where the power control goes into place. And just like Jocelyn said, it's almost like she's treating him as her third child. So she's like, okay, I want to show you how to make a bed. And she's very specific on how she likes to make her bed, and, you know, corners tucked, no lines, the whole 9 yards. And he's like, this feels really like a military, like I've joined the military. And he's like, vacation Marissa is way more chill and way more relaxed. And this is not the same woman that I've known on all these vacations that I've gone on. It's feeling more like a president and her secretary. And then he says, I'd rather be on vacation again versus this real life. And then I said, how many times do Abby and I have to tell you to leave your vacay bay on vacay? I don't understand how. You have the money. It's not like you've been doing it for a few years. Go have your fun, get out whatever you need to get out, and come back and do it as often as you want, because you have the means to do it. What was it about that situation that was not fulfilling you anymore, that you decided that you, like Abby said, gonna apply for the K1 visa and have him move into your house permanently, and then all of a sudden the person that you are in real life, because this is who you are in real life, is not the person you are on vacation? Because guess what? On vacation, you're on vacay mode. You're relaxing, you're chilling, you're having more drinks or going on excursions, or you just have no responsibilities when you're on vacation. So explain to me why that wasn't enough.
But he's very smart, because he's already adequately conceptualized exactly what's happening to him.
I mean, I don't know yet. I'm going to reserve my opinion on that. Lori says, I will never understand the American who gets angry at the person they brought here when they can't be independent.
Same. Especially when you live in a secluded area like that. You're bringing this person to an environment where nobody else looks like them or speaks their language, and they can't get around independently. There's no public transportation, because she had the option of arranging this so that she was bringing him into New York. She has an apartment in New York. She had the option of bringing him into an environment where there's a lot of Dominicans, where he would immediately have been able to get around on his own, but she didn't. She brought him to Pennsylvania on purpose.
Yeah, and I need to know what that is. I really do need to know what that is. So after the bed making situation, she wants to go on a power walk. And, you know, this is another thing. She's into fitness. He clearly is not. And so he's like, oh, I guess this is what we're doing. And I'm seeing this a lot with Aisha as well, where you're forcing your partner to do the things that you want them to do without even asking them if this is something they enjoy. How about is this something that we can enjoy together? And if not, maybe find out what they would enjoy together. I don't know. I just think that that would be the logical thing. Not just like, hey, this is what you're doing because I said this is what you're doing.
Right.
So that's the first red flag to me. Next, the boys are coming, and he's he, meaning Edward, is going to be meeting Michael, the ex-husband, today. And I felt like, and I'm not a mom, so maybe you can answer this question. I felt like she didn't need to tell him all the negativity about, like, the boys don't want you to replace their dad and all of this stuff. I think that she could have just been like, hey, here's the situation. I want us to just take our time and you get to know the boys and get to know my ex-husband, because we're all going to be a blended family, rather than making it like, oh, this, expect something bad to happen and the boys don't want this. And then on top of it, you're making it seem like, why is it going to be a confrontation between you and Michael? Like, why do you think it's going to be a battle? If you put that in someone's mind, then they're thinking, oh, there must be already something, and they're going to come defensive. I just don't think it's the right move.
This whole thing was very careless on her part. She made it seem as though the boys didn't already know her, but then they flashed the pictures where they've already met each other and they've spent time together. So there was no reason to say anything about, oh, they're afraid you're going to replace their dad. He already has a relationship with them that is separate and independent. So that was very careless. Her conversation with him about Michael was also very careless. Like, you have to watch how he's going to be aggressive. You have to watch how you respond. No, you have a choice of how Michael speaks to someone in your home. So if you think that he's going to be aggressive in that, the way that you're describing him, which is not even what really happened, but if you think he's going to be like that, then you have the choice to mediate that, you know, either they're going to have no contact, because he doesn't have to come in the house when he drops the kids off. Like, she has the choice in how that's going to be handled.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't seem like she wants it to go smoothly, because really all she had to say was, he's picking the kids up today and then he's going to drop them over here, and then we'll be able to do X, Y, and Z with the kids, and maybe another day you and Michael can chat and meet for the first time, or do you want to meet him for the first time today? Like, that's another thing that really irritated me. Like, you're not even giving him options.
Yeah, again, we're saying the same thing. So yeah. I think it's a red flag that we have to pay attention to and see how it pans out for the rest of the season. As well as a red flag to me is Edward talking about how he had to make a decision about being with, quote, the love of his life, or to move forward with someone else because he wants kids. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I really am going to tell you guys something. This is why I don't think they're going to go the long haul, like forever. Because someone who chooses you in the moment now, when they're in love and this honeymoon phase and all of that stuff, but they wanted kids and they chose not to have kids because they wanted to be with you, they're going to want to have kids down the road.
Yeah, I think so too. Quick question, Linda. How do you say this?
I can't see it.
Still?
I can't see it because your name is a 2A something.
It's TOUS. LES. JOURS.
Oh, tous les jours.
What does it mean?
Tous les jours. Every day.
Oh, that's all it means? I thought it meant something special. Okay, no. Taylor just brought something in from the new French bakery. Let's see what it is.
Hey, Regella. Hey, XS Simply Lily XS.
Let's see. I couldn't stand waiting. I'm so impatient. It's another Too Good to Go order where they give you you just pay $9 and they give you a surprise box. Oh my gosh, it all looks so good.
What is it? Pastries?
All pastry, bagel, muffin, a giant cookie. Oh, and I love these little, this is a mocha cake, isn't it? Oh, Taylor, this is so good. Thank you. Okay, sorry. I had to look in the box. I'm so nosy.
No worries. It looks delicious. Too bad you can't share with us all.
Yeah,
So
baby.
long story short, I think that he is going to end up resenting her somewhere down the road, or he's going to cheat on her and have a baby with someone outside of their marriage. Those are the options I think are going to happen. So Michael and the kids come in, and Michael was coming in hot. He was a little like confrontational, and talked about how, oh, you're taller than I thought, was like a total microaggression. And but the kids, as soon as they saw Edward, they hugged him, embraced him, said hello. They seemed genuinely happy to see him, and him happy to see them. And then they go outside, they do this whole trampoline thing, and Michael joins in on, not, excuse me, Edward joins in on the trampoline thing, and you could tell Michael was like, oh, you're playing with my kids. Like, it was a little bit of a territory thing going on there. And then they go inside, and Michael wants to have a man-to-man talk with Edward. And the gist of it is, he's like, yeah, I was a bad husband, but I'm the best ex-husband. And I'm worried about you guys because you guys seem to be in the honeymoon stage, but you guys don't really know each other. And what happens if you guys start fighting? Because the kids feel everything. So I don't want you to be, and he is assuming this, like, aggressive. And let's say you have a fight and you knock this thing off the table, and then my kids call me and say, Dad, I'm scared, blah, blah. You're assuming a lot of stuff that you don't even know about this guy. You met him 5 minutes ago. So that tells me, is that maybe something that you did and your aggression, and you're now thinking that everyone is like that because you're like that? Because oftentimes that's what people do. They project their stuff onto you. You didn't get 5 minutes to say who he is, get a feel of his personality or anything. So he ends that whole conversation by saying, I'm a fighter. And Edward took it chill. He didn't get aggressive back. He was like, okay. He's like, I'm not intimidated, though. He tells the camera that and us that he's not intimidated. And like I said, Edward's like, he doesn't know me. He doesn't know if I can fight or not fight. He doesn't know anything about me. I do like how he answered him. He said, I'm not aggressive, and especially with women. So this is not something that would happen. And looked him dead in his eyes, because that read to me like, you might be that aggressive person, and you might be aggressive with women, but I surely am not. So then Michael kind of took that in, and he said, well, and the other thing is, her parents are wealthy. I never felt good enough. Again, projecting your thing onto him. And so, be careful of that, because that's what the parents do. They see that you don't have what they have, and you don't have the money that they have, and they make you feel less than. What were your thoughts?
The end part of what Michael said was very revealing and maybe helpful to Edward going in to decide how he wants to have that conversation. But there was also a little small thing that happened earlier that bothered me about Marissa. When Edward was jumping with the kids in the trampoline, she was kind of like making fun of him, making a joke of him with Michael. Like, oh, Edward, get out of there. Like, oh, laughing a little bit at him. And I don't like when people laugh at their partner with other people. If everybody's not in on the joke, I don't care for it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Do you want to add anything else before we move on to Rashid and Mallory?
No, let's go to Rashid and Mallory. That's who I had on my mind when we first started talking today. So yes, let's go to Rashid and Mallory.
Rashid and Mallory, Alabama. Do you think they're going to make it or not make it?
Okay, so what I was saying earlier is I think they're going to make it, but the more interesting question to me is Rashid going to come out of it being a person who is still, proud of his culture and his country, or is he going to become a self-hating person?
I'm sorry, you said you do think they're going to make it.
I do think they're going to make it, but I don't know how Rashid is going to come out of it, because I've met a lot of immigrants who become self-hating because of the environment that they're in. So is he going to make it out of this environment, or is he going to be able to stand up and still be proud? of himself and practice his own culture and beliefs and religion, or is he going to try and appease these people?
Mm. I'm on the fence with this, and I'm actually a little fearful for Razit, but I also think that he comes with a very strong opinion of masculinity and what a male's role is in relationships. So I'm on the fence. I don't know if they're gonna make it or not. So Brandon pops in to pick up his dog camera or whatever that it was, and Receipt automatically has an attitude. He's annoyed. He just doesn't believe that exes can be friends. Literally says F Brandon. Now, Brandon originally came in with no ill will. You saw him, he was like greeting Receipt, shakes his hand. Receipt took a 2 extra beats before he brought his hand to meet him, which I thought was crazy. And they have a little bit of small talk, and Receipt's face is just saying everything. Like, basically, I hate you 100% and get out of my house. That's what his face was giving. Despite that, Brandon's like, hey, you know, tomorrow we are going to give you an Alabama welcome party. And even though Brandon was sensing that there was tension on Razit's side, he's like, this is the South, and this is not something you do in the South because it's disrespectful, and he needs to man up. And I didn't really understand what he meant there. Is it the microaggression that's disrespectful, Abby?
Are you talking about when he sat on his tailgate?
No, we're not there yet.
Or before that? Okay.
There were two times. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it is considered rude to have somebody waiting on you, have them out. You know, you're offending his manliness, let's say. You're offending his I'm going to think of a better word for it, but yes, it is offensive.
Okay. I was like, oh, okay. I'm learning a lot about the South, and I'm just learning a lot that in the South, everything is like considered disrespectful, which is wild. A lot of rules. Brennan leaves. They're getting ready for bed, and Receipt talks about how he has mixed emotions, which is really something that I wish they would talk about a little bit more when the immigrant moves to America and what that just means to them, and the newness and the difference, and like missing your day-to-day and your family and your friends and not knowing. There's a lot that is mixed in with there. So yes, he's having mixed emotions, and I wish they would discuss that more because it's a big deal. But they focus on the dogs on the bed, and if you remember, Receipt was like, no dogs on the bed, but all the dogs were in the bed, and he was like, no way. And he's getting up and he's wrangling all 5 dogs, and he gets them out, closes the door, and I laughed when he said, God says animals live outside. That was so funny to me. And what's your take? I know, I mean, we talked about this way before, Abby, years ago now, but what's your take on animals sleeping in the bed with you? Because I know you had that cat
yes situation. I said no. I said I would not like it, but then I said I dated this French guy who had a dog, and he let his dog sleep with him. And I don't know, girls, when you're over the moon about somebody, you do weird things. The dog slept with us.
Okay, live chat and replay. I'd like to know your opinion on it. Do dogs or cats or any animals, any of your fur babies, do they get to sleep in the bed with you? I'm just curious. It's a no for me.
We know Linda's gonna say no. Could you ever imagine yourself being like so head over heels for someone that you're in the bliss of the relationship and the dog comes padding in the room and it doesn't bother you that they're in there.
Can I imagine that? I mean, I can imagine it because it's make believe. Yes. But like, I just, okay. And you guys, I love dogs. I want to have a dog when I have a big house and the whole thing, but I just want to know do you guys wipe their paws down after they go outside and after they like lick their butts and all that stuff? And they're walking on the dirty cement that everyone spits on and poops on and all of that stuff. And on the grass that's on that. So do you just let them jump in the bed just like that? Or do you like wipe them down? Like, how does that work? And then the clean sheets, you guys are all in there, because that's the same level as your outside clothes in the bed. So I'm just trying to.
I mean, that's worse than outside clothes on the bed, because outside clothes, you're not rolling around on the pavement.
I'm just asking you guys.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I'm asking you.
This was an inside dog, but I don't know, like, in general, what people do.
Lori says, we let the cats on the beds, but not the dogs. And Joslo says, rather a dog than a man at this point.
Hey, Joslo. Hey, you said a word.
Oh, Joslo says, my Chihuahua gets his teeth cleaned and his body washed every night at bedtime.
Smart. He has his own bedtime routine, and you have your bedtime routine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those are all fair. Whatever works for you. I'm just saying, for me, I would have questions. Okay, so he, meaning Rizzi, wants to talk about seeing Brandon and how his head was exploding. And one of the things that I did not like about Mallory is that she minimized his wanting to discuss and communicate how he was feeling, because he's like, this is my house and I don't want him to call you. Now, those are strong statements, because not only does he not want Brandon in the house nor calling Mallory, but he's like, if he's going to call, he has to call me because I'm the man. So the man has to call the man because I'm your husband. Now, he is saying a lot in those sentences, you guys. And if she does not agree with it, then it's a conversation that needs to be had. You have to have this conversation. How do you not? You just gonna put it to the side, like you put to the side that you don't want to have a kid, and he clearly wants to have a kid. So we're just gonna continue to set aside all of the important conversations. I don't understand it. So instead, she's like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. Let's just go to sleep. Oh, just, it's okay. No, have the conversations, because what? You're going to get married and then have the conversation, because it's still not too late to have the conversation before you are supposed to be forever.
Right.
I don't get it. And it's going to be an issue. Okay.
She's not really saying put it off. She's kind of hoping that he just will stop bringing it up, to be honest. It's not like she's saving it for later. She's just hoping it goes away, and it's not going to go away.
It's not going to go away, because this is he is fundamentally saying to you, as soon as you become my wife, no men can call you. I'm the man. They can call me because I'm your husband. You can have no male friends. No men can come into the house unless I approve it. That's what he literally is telling you. He bought baby clothes because he expects you to have a baby immediately. He bought a baby plushie because he expects to have children, and you haven't told him that you don't want children? I'm sorry, am I missing something? Those are this is a major fundamental issues in a relationship, whether you can move forward or not.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening up here for Mallory, but Linda's right. People just don't listen to us, girl.
Crazy. Y'all are crazy. Okay, so it's the next day and they go into downtown, and again, I'm shocked because these downtowns, they're like ghost towns. No one's ever in there. originally Mallory said, oh, on the weekends and all of that stuff, that's when people come out and the downtowns are busy. But now she's saying it's not busy because it's raining. And then in that same breath, she's like, but it rains all the time in Alabama. So like, what? How do those businesses stay open?
Because the rent's probably like $100 a month.
They go into a spot. Abby. They go into a spot, order some drinks, and he is shocked at the animal head. And like, is that real? And yes, it's real. Huge animal head. He's like, oh, this is sad. And basically, they both say a good hunter would waste nothing. And I don't know enough about gaming, and I just know like there's a certain subset of individuals that like to go hunting just for the hunting and the taxidermy of it all. Do you know anything about this? And is it a South thing?
Yeah, it's very Southern. All my uncles were hunters, and we ate rabbit and coon and all that. So uh you can take the animal and you can eat every part of the animal, and you can still take it to the taxidermies and they'll fill in the eyes and stuff for you. So just because you see a head mounted doesn't mean that they didn't eat all of the meat and organs, because the taxidermist can make it look like that. But the only thing I would say that Southern people don't typically do, that maybe people in other places do, is Southern people don't always use the hides. So like using the hides to become clothing or carpeting or something like that, that doesn't always happen. But I know in other places they will use all those parts of the animal as well.
Okay. Interesting. Good to know. They sit to have their coffee, and this is where things kind of get interesting, and we should have explored this more because it's a whole thing, and in America specifically. But Mallory explains to him how some people said some not nice things about him because he's from a Muslim country. They said that he is a terrorist, and they said some mean things about him and his family. And she was upset about it, and she starts crying because she's like, these people are small-minded and ignorant to judging people. And she said, these are her words, they're ignorant, they're backwoods, they're uneducated MFs. And she doesn't want any part of it. And she wants to uninvite them. So she asked her friend to uninvite them. Now, what are your thoughts, Abby, before I go on? What are your thoughts?
I'm not impressed. I don't care. You were friends with them before you met Receipt, and you had no problem with what they were saying before you met Receipt. And now you want to sit here and portray to us that you're the good person who's so hurt by the things that they were saying. They were your friends before that, and that's who they were before that. They said those things before that, and they continue to say bad things about other minorities and people of other religions to this day. But now it offends you because you're in a relationship with Receipt. I don't care, Mallory. Cry.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Exactly what I was going to say. You now care because it's affecting you directly, because you chose one of these quote unquote terrorists to be your husband. But you didn't say anything before. It was all fun and games until now it affects you. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people are that way. A lot of people are that way. Unless it affects them directly, they don't care. And I'm sorry, but that is not how you become an ally. And that is not how racism works. You just can't ignore it until it affects you directly. All right. So they arrive to this party, the Welcome to Alabama party. And I'm just gonna throw out some of the things that were there. So they arrive and it's raining. They're in this covered outside patio. And the first thing that Razit does is he starts praying. Because it looks crazy. So it's a patio. They have the red cups. They are chanting USA, USA, USA. They are talking about Roll Tide, which I don't know what that is. They are calling it a white trash bash and welcome to the South. And apparently, I didn't know until they actually said it's a theme party. So they went over and above and beyond to what the stereotypical South is supposed to look like. So they had like the bandana with the mullet hair. They were doing shotgun beers where they put a hole in the beer can and do it like a shooter. Someone rode a tractor in to the party. There's a lot of drinking, and Mallory had a beer can as a hair roller. There was a lot going on. Do you want to talk about any of that?
So Roll Tide is the war cry for Alabama Crimson. Is it University of Alabama or Alabama University? I think it's University of Alabama. So that's what they will say when they go to football games. Football, American football, not soccer. So yeah, Roll Tide. And it's kind of like unofficially a white people thing. I mean, it is the university chant, but you'll hear it outside of university football events as well, as like a rallying.
Mean? It just means go University of Alabama?
Yeah.
Oh.
And there are people who are, if you have never been in the South for a football game, that is an experience you need to have while you're in the United States, because we're very serious about our football. Somebody on TikTok was asking how come we aren't talking about the World Cup. And the response was like, we care about high school athletics more than the World Cup. We do.
I mean, listen, some of y'all didn't even know you guys have an American football team, soccer team. You guys did not know that. You guys
I was one of those people. Look, I thought we were just hosting. When somebody was like, oh,
that's what I keep seeing.
That was me.
Wow.
Somebody was like, explaining like all the ways in which our team is deficient and we're not going to win. And I was watching the whole video like, I know we had a team. What is our mascot? What's our name? I have no clue.
That's crazy. Lori says, I'm in Colorado and lived in the mountains for a while. And there were definitely hunters that I knew who had taxidermy heads, but none of them had them in a bedroom. And Joslo says, Roz looked good in the mullet.
He did, Joslo, actually.
I do like how her friends greeted Reddit for the most part. Like they were authentically themselves and also kind of welcomed him, besides Brandon, who all of a sudden, I think Brandon was offended from the original meeting where he said that Reddit was being disrespectful to him. So now he was coming in hot for the second
yes.
meeting. And so I don't know if this is a South thing, but I'm sidetracked for a second because I was like, I think it is. One of the girls' name, I don't know, I can't remember, but is it a South thing to be like Jamie Lynn? As names like a first and second name, but that's like your first name. Yeah.
It's very Southern. I have a cousin named Shirlan. Her name is Shirley Ann. Nobody says that. It's Shirlan.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, so what I thought was really adorable was that Receipt was like sharing his culture. So he made his special Turkish drink, which was that kind of milky fermented alcohol drink. And he shared it. And one guy was open to trying it. And that's all you have to do, you guys, is try and share and learn. That's how we all can become one. It's like, let's be open to each other's cultures and beliefs and all that stuff. Can't we do that? The guy tried it. He's like, oh, it's not for me. It tastes like licorice. But at least he was open to trying it. Here comes Brandon. like a bull in a china shop. Ooh, I got that right. He makes his way in, all aggressive, pulls out 2 red cups and like pours the whiskey, literally pushes it in Razit's face and says, "Try this American whiskey." Like that. Doesn't want to try what Razit brought to the table. He felt like, no, this is America, and we're gonna drink some American whiskey. And Razit tries it, and his response was, "Oh, this just tastes like whiskey."
Yeah, it's just Jim Beam. It wasn't nothing special.
So Brandon walks off after he came in and all hot, and Razit was like, "Okay, you know what, Mallory, I need to go and talk to Brandon." So he goes over to talk to Brandon, and he's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you." Now, I didn't know this was a thing, you guys, but apparently in the South, if you sit in the tailgate of someone's truck uninvited, it's considered disrespectful.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I mean,
but there's no way that he would know that. Like, I was looking at him like, not only was he sitting in the man's tailgate, he was like, he had his hands propped back and he had his legs kicked out. I'm like, he's just.
I didn't know that. I mean, I would have never touched anyone else's property without asking, because that's just like but I don't know. I wouldn't know that it was considered disrespectful, but again, I wouldn't do it. So I don't know. So Brandon is all up in arms now, because now he feels disrespected for the second time. And Razit says, I have a problem with you. And this is how Brandon took it. Brandon took him saying that I have a problem with you and him sitting on this guy's tailgate as he is trying to assert a sign of dominance over Brandon. And Brandon's like, listen, he doesn't know who he's talking to, because I will choose violence every time. And I thought, from what? This guy's communicating how he's feeling. He is brand new here. He doesn't know the rules of the South. Mm-hmm. But you want to choose violence and you want to go there because you already feel disrespected for the rules that he doesn't even know about, because he's not from there. He's literally from a whole other country. This is this is the problem. Why be aggressive? Thoughts, Abby, before I move on?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously Brandon is wrong, but we had a conversation about this before. Like, I don't think that people really understand how violent Americans just are inherently. And like, when you see people out of the country who are trying to pickpocket Americans and they fight back, Europeans are always taken aback by that. We're not well. We're unhinged over here. Okay? We're not doing well. We want problems always. Like, you're not going to see a video of an American, that often walking away from a fight. And so he doesn't know what he's done. Razit doesn't know that he's done something that's incredibly offensive and disrespectful. And Brandon doesn't have the worldly experience to know and be able to say, this guy doesn't know what he's doing right here in front of me. Mm-hmm. This didn't have to go like this. Razit is also making this an issue. It didn't have to go like this, because I've had relationships where I knew the guy first, and then as they start dating someone and get engaged and get married, I eventually become the woman's friend. It happens all the time. It happens naturally if you let it. But the way that Razit is acting, he's not allowing the friendship to transfer to him.
That's right. That's right. I'll tell you something, you guys. Fun fact. I even became friends with the girl, and when they broke up, we stayed friends. Because that person was trash.
Same. Well, not trash, but a breakup did happen, And I'm still friends with that girl who my friendship transferred to. And she allowed it. You know, in the beginning, she was suspicious of our relationship, but she allowed it. Now I
Yep.
love her.
Yep. Same. And we both got rid of a trash individual because he. Okay. Moving on to Aisha. Aisha. I learned to say her name because I listened to what the mom said and I rewound it to be like, hey, is that what she's saying? So it's Aisha. And I phonetically wrote it out so that I will remember.
Okay.
Okay. Aisha and Maxwell, are they going to make it or they're not?
No.
They absolutely are not. I agree with you. They should not even be together. And one of the things that I'm loving, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but all the stereotypes that you guys have about Nigerians, I want you to really pay attention to how this story is playing out and who's doing what in this situation. It's very, very important for you to see what is really going on.
Yeah. Can I say the reason I think they're not going to work out?
Absolutely.
I think it's Aisha's fault. I don't think that she is even seeing him as a person. She's seeing him as a project.
That is right. And also, too, I feel like she is one of those people that are like, just insert husband here. I don't care who it is, insert husband here. And because she feels like she's put in so much work thus far, as well as she is, bringing God into it, and God told her this is her husband, which, again, we've talked about the things that she says God has said. And if you have a prophetess friend, as well as you said in your words that you're a visionary, then I just feel like you should know how this plays out. Okay. So she's going to Nigeria, and her friend Brianna is driving them to the airport. And by them, I mean her and her mom, because her mom is going to go as well, just in case, she decides to get married. The mom wants to be a part of that. The friend is skeptical, as any proper friend should be. She's like, I'm skeptical because you don't know him. You got engaged to someone you met in a week. You haven't seen this guy in months, but you're going to get married to him. I agree. And here's where, okay, they haven't seen each other in 8 months. And Brianna's like, well, what happened, right? You got denied the K1 visa. Does that follow you along? Which is a great question, Abby. All these questions I'm going to post to you. Does that follow you along? Second is, the reason for the denial is fraud. Like, how do you overcome fraud? That's the second question. The third question is, Aisha thinks that she has two options. And I'm trying to figure out why she thinks that, because the lawyer that she spoke to gave her clear one option. But she thinks that she's going to go there and she has option one to refile the K1 visa so that they have more time to spend together, which in and of itself is crazy to me, because Abby and I have discussed this over and over. The K1 90 days is not for you to get to know each other. It's for you to plan your wedding. And then the fourth question is, okay, so it's a part two. Why does she think she can refile for a K1 visa when she has to get the marital, the C2 visa or whatever it is? That's the option she has.
All right, so let's go through all of these. Will it follow her that there has been a prior K denial? Possibly. It depends on the reason why the K was denied. So, for example, if the K was denied because they didn't believe that there was a genuine relationship, but then you're able to show that you've made more visits with each other, you've met more of each other's family, you've taken some other trips together, you're able to show more of a genuine, long-lasting relationship, then yeah, you can overcome that. An example of this that we saw was the K visa between Michael and Angela was originally denied. And then they decided to get married in Nigeria, and then the spousal visa was approved. So that K denial did not prevent them from having an approved spousal visa. right? How can you overcome fraud? Well, it depends on what the misrepresentation or fraud was. So, for example, if you have someone who previously applied for a visitor's visa and they listed themselves as married, but then they turned around and applied for a K visa, well, you can either admit that you never were married in the first place, or it was only a traditional marriage, or you can get divorced, right? So you can overcome depending on what it is, and if you know what it is, because the State Department doesn't always tell you why your visa is being denied. Okay. Aisha said that there are two options: do a new K or do marriage. So she didn't listen to a single solitary word that man said when she went to that attorney's office. That attorney gave her direct, straightforward answers with no fluff. And she walked out of there saying, well, he's not going to help me. I have to just pray to God that God's. And then she decided what her two options were, so she wasn't willing to listen. And I've noticed that with her, even when she was talking to her friend at the duck pond, she makes up what she wants somebody to have said and then calls it a prophecy. Well, she asked her friend, should I go and visit Michael? Should I go and visit Maxwell? Should I go and see him? And the friend says, that might be a good idea. Well, my prophet friend says, I got to go to Nigeria and I got to visit him. Like, she just makes stuff up. So, yeah,
agreed.
but
she hears what she wants to hear, because even her friend, by bringing up all these questions, Brianna bringing up, does it follow you? Reason for the denial and fraud and all that stuff. Aisha's like, this is all negativity. I don't want to talk about it. I don't need this energy. So if it's not in line with what she's saying that she wants, she's not trying to hear it from anybody. And that is a dangerous place to be. Because if people who are not only trained, but experts in the field that you are looking to explore, to put it in religious terms, right? God made doctors so that you could go to the doctor. God made lawyers so that you could go to lawyers. Just saying. So this is her man. And she says on the way to the airport that even if it takes 2 to 4 years for her to get married, she doesn't quit. And here's the thing that was shocking to me. Her mom says it's worth the wait. Her mom is on board. And I was like, oh, so I see. Delusion comes from delusion. Gotcha. The other thing that was shocking to me was you're going to go all the way to Nigeria, you guys, and it's literally, to Africa, it's like a 24-hour flight. You're taking a few flights, and also you're moving ahead of time zone, and then so you lose a day, and you're only go there for what she said, quote, a few days. What's a few days?
I don't know what a few days to her is, but I think like the most we can stretch it is to say 5. That's the most that we can stretch a few days in meaning, right? And that's not enough to be worth it for the price of the flight to me.
That, and also to go to the embassy, to figure out, to get married, to know the person. Okay. I literally just said, what, question mark? But she is standing on God, and she quotes Jeremiah 29:11, and says that her fate is in God's hands. And that whole thing about his thoughts are thoughts of peace and not of evil. That's what she stands on, and that's what her favorite Bible verse is. And I was about to go into a whole thing, but I'm gonna not do it. But this was telling, and I don't know if it was a Freudian slip on her part or not, or a bad well, no, it's not a bad because she said it. So she said, God has never failed her before. Let me say it exactly what she said. She said, God never failed me before, so he's not going to fail me again. I'm just going to leave that with you guys. You can say what you want to say, figure it out for yourself. But that right there to me was some type of Freudian slip for someone who is so such a believer. I don't know. It just, I mean, if your actions and words, then you should be action and words. That's all.
I mean, but she's not very smart, Linda. So she probably heard somebody say that and she's just repeating it and she's not actually analyzing whether or not it makes sense or not. The same way that I grew up saying irregardless instead of regardless. You know what I mean? Like one day I was like, wait a minute, hold on, what am I saying? But there was a long time I was saying that and it made no sense.
Okay, that's fair. Now, here's the thing that is so interesting to me because she is very set in her ways and she believes what she wants to believe and hears what she wants to hear. She is talking about her mom and she says her mom complains a lot and her mom is like, there's only one way to do anything. And if it's not that way, then it's not the right way. She then goes on to say her mom's annoying and nags a lot. And my note is literally LOL because she is her mother. And she does not see that she's her mother. Then we meet Maxwell, who's 28, and I don't know why I didn't know that there was a 10-year age gap between them. I guess I just didn't remember. From Aqua, Nigeria. And we meet Clement and Maria, his mom and dad. And the first thing I wanted you guys to notice, because you guys, some people have not been able to see a full scope of Africa. And this Nigeria specifically wanted you to take a look at how beautiful their home is. Beautiful, huge homes, because it is just like any other major city where they actually are not living in huts and all the things that you guys think that Africans are living in. So that's the first thing I wanted to point out. And then we meet Maxwell and he talks about how he finds Aisha pushy for what she wants. She is always constantly picking at him. When she was there last, she was taking pictures of his bald spots, telling him he was too skinny, telling him his skin was rough, and she always wants to fix this and do that, and sometimes he feels like it's too much. And I have a feeling that the mom, Maria, is getting a sense of that because her prayer for her son as he was leaving was that Asia wouldn't be trouble to him. And sometimes moms just have a sense, right? And they let you try to figure it out on your own, but they have a sense. And so she was saying a lot in that. The other thing that is a fun fact that maybe you guys want to know, maybe you don't want to know, but growing up, even as adults, we still call our parents mommy and daddy. And it's an African thing, and that's what we do. And I just thought it was adorable that they showed that part. And some people are like, what? Yeah, that's what we do. It's mommy and daddy. So Maxwell's feeling a little bit overwhelmed as Aisha is arriving with her mom. And he was worried, right? Because he didn't know where they stood. And he was happy that she called and that they're in it together. So they're going to reapply. And again, I'm like, who told, like, where are you guys getting this information from? Do you guys know something that I don't know, that you're just going to reapply for the same thing you got denied? No, you're going to apply for a separate and different type of visa and see if that works. Now, what he did say was there's no guarantee. There is no guarantee. And it's going to take time. Yes, it's going to take time. And it's going to take resources. Yes, it's going to take resources. So have you guys talked about that? Did you talk about it before she booked her flight to Nigeria?
They did not. They did not. You know why? The prophecy.
Right. They reunite. He has flowers for both her and the mom. And the thing that I'm just going to tell you guys that just completely pissed me off is that she judged him immediately. She's like, "Oh, your skin is looking a little better. Looks like the what was it that he had? Laser
chemical peel.
Chemical peel worked. You've put on a little bit weight. You look better. So these are the results that, quote, we want." Now, I got to tell you something, you guys. Okay. I just don't understand these judgy 2x4s, because if the tables were turned and we were doing this to her, because she's not perfect. None of us are. But if I was like a catty person, which I feel like that's how she's coming across, because she keeps just judging this guy, I could read her for filth. There are some things like your synthetic wig that you might want to change. And I could go on. You're telling him he needs to get a gym membership. I mean, do you go to the gym? I mean, I could go on. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that feels good. I don't think it feels good. And I don't think that that's your position to take. I think that you should probably focus on yourself and focus on the things that you want to fix about yourself. And if he's happy and it's not like a health issue or anything the way he is, then let him be. If he says, "Hey, I want to make these changes," then you can support that. But for you to tell him, to degrade him, like taking pictures of bald spots, I mean, I'm just going to say this. Go ahead and take your wig off and let's talk about some bald spots. Rude.
It's really extremely rude. I agree.
Lori says, "I struggle with her and how she uses God and behaves like God is at her whim and is there to serve her." You're right. I mean, I struggle with her too, because as a Christian, I just don't, the things that she says and believes, I mean, wow. It has to make
Linda,
it
are you jealous that the ducks do not talk to you?
Pardon me?
Are you jealous the ducks don't talk to you?
No, I'm not. And also too, like a basic principle is as a Christian, the only person that can judge is God himself. So you judging your fiance and nitpicking is mind-blowing, but then on the same breath saying that you're a Christian, like I don't get it.
Nothing, honestly, like nothing about her really is congruent. Like nothing like adds up. Nothing makes sense altogether. And I think the foundation of all of that is that she's just not a very smart person. Because you could be smart and be religious, but it would require you to have some level of introspection.
I mean, I am both those things. Maybe not humble in this moment, but I
mean, you don't have to be humble.
I'm just saying, like you can, yeah.
You can be smart. Like you can reason your way through theology. You can.
Well, but I'm saying, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying, make sure you understand what you're talking about before you're talking about it. Because as a Christian, I want to be able to refer to the Bible and say, where does it say that? And how is it applicable in present day? That's all it should be. All the extra stuff, the ducks understanding and all of this stuff, and speaking in tongues and no one else. Like, I literally can go to the Bible and tell you this is what it says, and then you're saying something that is not in the Bible. That's the part that I'm struggling with. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you want to add anything else before we move on to Katie and Josh?
Let's go, Katie and Josh.
Woo, Lord. Are they going to make it or are they not going to make it?
They are not going to make it.
They are not going to make it. Agreed.
And Josh seems like he's very patient and he's trying very hard, but I just think that Katie is unable to consider him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Joslo's asking if Aisha is financing all of these procedures for Maxwell.
I don't know. I mean, it looks like if we're going to judge a book by its cover, it looks like he's doing okay, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he needs money from her, but we did see her pack some body care things that she's taking over there. But, I was offended by that, Jaws. I don't remember if I said it when we talked about it, but Nigeria is very ahead of the game on beauty products, especially products that are for black skin. So the fact that she was like, I have to take all this stuff because he doesn't have it was ridiculous to me. But
Katie and Josh, you guys,
can I just say something? Like, I just want to get ahead a little. There's no way she thought that dang on bed was big enough for both of them grown people.
Is that what you're taking away? Because I can't get past the nasty, disgusting. You could smell that mattress and it stains through the TV.
Yeah.
That's what I couldn't get past.
Ew. Yes, that was absolutely a problem. No. I can't believe he got in it.
Y'all just put some sheets on and just jumped in. Did you check to see if there might be bed bugs in that nasty thing that looks like it should be in the trash? Oh no. See, look, no.
I would just sleep on the floor. Just sleep on the floor. Because that was tiny and disgusting. And also, like, doesn't that if I saw that someone had no problem living like that, it would make me question their hygiene in general. Like, I can't eat anything that you ever cook because now I can't trust that you wash your hands. You think it's okay to sleep on that. So now I don't know if you wash your butt.
Exactly. That, and you're sticking your tongue down every random person's throat on a regular basis weekly. Like, ew.
This girl has no fear of bacteria.
You didn't want your fiance to come and see your storage because you're filth and it's filthy. Like, there's so many problems, but we're jumping ahead. So they're moving out of the hotel to the new apartment. Katie is feeling pressured and she says time crunches trigger her OCD. And she explains how she melted. I don't even know how these went together. So if someone can explain it to me, thanks. She melted her Brita water filter on the stove one night because she was drunk and she forgot about it. So, like, were you making coffee in a pot and then you put the filter in the pot? Because then the filter doesn't a coffee pot and not a pot itself. And like, why is it on the stove? I had questions. But she almost burnt herself down because she was drunk. And again, I think Katie's an alcoholic. I think she's an alcoholic, and she's at the point that she's a functioning alcoholic, if you could say that, and she doesn't acknowledge it. And so she acknowledges her OCD and all the other things that are going on with her, but not that the actual catalyst and trigger is the alcohol. If you weren't blackout drunk, if you weren't drinking all the time, would you have the same effect? I think she's an alcoholic. So they're moving into their new apartment that she didn't even go visit. She skimmed the virtual tour and signed a 12-month lease. And he's worried because she hasn't seen it, he hasn't seen it, and he allegedly signed the lease too. She gets in the car and she is joking. She says she needs to fart forever. She's texting, she's laughing, and he is already freaking out and they haven't even started driving yet. He's like, can you concentrate on driving? And as she's driving, she's laughing, she's looking around, and he's holding on tight to, I don't even know what that thing is called, but the sidebar on the car.
Oh my God handle.
The oh my God handle. And he's holding on for dear life and asking her to focus. I don't know if you guys saw this, and you should go back and watch it, but there was a stop sign that she just blew right through, and they caught it on the dash cams, and I laughed because that is indicative of everything that is going on with these two. And in the car, she's talking about how she texted her friend Danica to see if she made out with anyone, and she's telling her fiance this, and she's like, luckily I didn't, but I did ask everyone to kiss them. They all said no, and he just finds that completely disrespectful. And she's like, well, I'm not doing it in a cheating way, I'm just doing it in a loving way. Now, if we go back a few episodes where she talked about being a hoe, her words, not mine, and Abby and you and I discussed what that meant for her. And we found out in the next episode, it did mean sleeping with everybody and kissing everybody. It meant the true definition of a hoe. For her to now then have that conversation with her fiance and then come back and be like, yeah, by the end of the night, I was like trying to make out with everybody, is disrespectful. And I think that they need to address it because she's clearly not trying to change her behavior. What are your thoughts, Abby?
I don't even understand how this is appealing. How do you not feel mortified that not only are you willing to kiss everybody in the bar, but they're all just like, pass? How's that not mortifying?
I mean, and that's what he says. He says he feels taken for a ride. He feels like he's being made a fool of, and now that he is feeling that way, he was excited about moving and starting his life with her, but all that she's doing is diminishing how he's feeling about it. I don't get it. Lori said, I had my husband, who's from the UK, watch a couple of scenes with them, and he was like, that's an OCD, and there's no way he's not going home.
Yeah. I mean, like, the interesting thing to me is he doesn't actually have to apply for a K visa to come to the United States. So he could have come for a long visit just to see how they got along together and how things were, while she was here versus being in the UK, and see if it was any better or different, instead of spending the money to apply for a K visa.
Can you elaborate on why that is? So how long could he stay? Why didn't he have to apply for a K1 visa?
So if you're from the United Kingdom, or if you're from the European Union, you can do ESTA, or you can come visa free. So it's not required, and he could stay up to 6 months.
I mean, that's what he should have done, because this is a mess. They get to the apartment, and Abby! What were your thoughts on the apartment? The initial thought when they walked through the door?
You know what? They signed a blind lease. They get what they get.
Okay. I thought it was nicer than I thought for what she was going to do. But what was that apartment? The brick, like, the bedroom is 2 concrete walls in the middle of the side of the, I don't know what was going on. It was like one long hallway. Yes to open kitchen, but no to everything else. No, no, absolutely not. But they have a roof over their head, like you said. And then she brought out this, what they call, we call them singles as well, but a twin mattress full of stains. And it just looked like it smelt. It just looked smelt. And then instead of discussing that, which is a big deal, you guys, like, you're gonna put your head and sleep in that. Do you guys not want to have a discussion about what we should do and how we should move forward, and why this is just not the look for no, you guys are not in a dorm. Instead of talking about that, she pulls out her sex toy that she wants to talk about, and even her sex toy is
filthy. And he laughs about it. You know what? He laughed about it. How can she understand how disgusting and serious this is if he's willing to laugh about her packed away toy that is covered in hair?
I don't know. I don't know. It's you, and you click like I don't know. I don't know. Ew. This is ew. Ew. This is why you can't just, you can't just eat at anybody's house. You can't just go to anybody's house. Like, you don't even, ew. You guys, ew. Yuck. You guys, I smelt that whole situation through my TV and it was too much for me. It's too much for me.
Yeah. It was really disturbing the way that they both thought that it was a funny encounter, a funny joke. Her even more so to bring it back a second time into the interview. That's really disgusting. That's trifling.
Yeah. Ew. I need her to talk about her alcohol consumption and why that is affecting all parts of her life and why she's not acknowledging that. Joslo says Katie seems to revel in it.
She's like a pig in slop.
Oh, you guys, I just was nope. All right, do you want to add anything else before I move on to Debbie and Minot?
Let's go, Debbie and Minot. That's really funny. Mito.
Minot. Okay, are they gonna make it or they're not gonna make it in New Orleans?
They're gonna make it for as long as Mito wants to make it because Debbie is willing to shove a round peg into a square hole.
Yeah, again, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna make it. What I will say is this, like, I don't get it. She is successful, she's beautiful, she's got a great family and all the things, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. And he's terrible. He's a terrible individual, and off the bat, I'm gonna tell you that I don't like him, so it also will affect how I review this and talk about it because I just think he's terrible. And FYI, I should have said that in the beginning as well. Actually, no, because I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I just don't like this guy right now. I don't like he talks to people. I don't like how he's 41. He's not 21. He's 41. First of all, what have you been doing? You're 41 and it's you guys, it's never too late to chase your dreams. I'm not saying that. Chase your dreams. It's never too late to start anything anew. You're never too old, all of that. But that being said, have a better attitude. And like, what were you doing? Because you're not going to be doing anything and all you're focusing on is your dream, but you're not focusing it for yourself. You're making Debbie be your minion in order for you to achieve your dream when you can achieve your dream on your own. That's the part I don't like. Okay.
Yeah. And we can see it in this episode. In the last episode, I was just like, he's not lying to her. She's the one who is moving forward with this. But in this episode, we do see him employ some manipulation tactics.
Oh, all of it. Oh, don't like him. Lori says, why is Debbie disrespecting herself like this? And that she can't stand him, but it's based on his behavior. Joslo has a spoiler alert, alleged spoiler alert that I won't put up on the screen just in case you don't want to be spoiled, but you can go back to the live chat replay and check it out. Okay, so they both didn't sleep well because, they had the fight in the moving truck the night before. And he was acting like a big old baby and having a temper tantrum. And so he went to bed. He didn't even help unpack the new apartment that she is paying for, that they all get to live rent free. So they need to have a conversation. And one of the things that's irritating her is that he refuses to communicate. And one of the things that I'm trying to tell you is, how do you have a healthy, happy relationship long-term if you can't communicate with your partner? Because what does that look like? And if he refuses to communicate, especially when you are disagreeing, again, what is that going to look like? Because here's what's happened. It goes amok. And he shows you his true colors in this episode. So she says, listen, I'm not your paparazzi. And she didn't sign up to be his paparazzi, but that is all his one track mind is focusing on being a superstar. And they sit down, they're having their little drinks at the cafe. And she says to him, you can't get mad when I make a mistake. And he's like, I'm not mad because you made a mistake. I'm mad because you threw your phone in my face. And she's like, I didn't throw it in your face. I threw it in your lap, which I have to tell you guys, she did not mention when she originally told the story. So I can see how it could be a miscommunication and a disrespectful thing because of the perception of it all. But what I didn't like is that she didn't mention that. She didn't mention it. She said that all she said was she went to take he asked her to take a video of him driving the truck, and instead she took a photo by accident. Right. But there's that story because how do you then have the phone in his lap?
Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, I didn't aim for your face, but you're admitting that you did toss or throw the phone. So
right. And it ended up in his lap. So that
ruins her credibility a little bit.
It does. And I can see how he is taking that as a form of disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
However, he says you can't do that. And if he was in Egypt and this was a different girl and a fiancé girlfriend, he would leave this relationship immediately because of the disrespect. And he is first now saying this is the first form of manipulation. He's like, I left my work and my dad for you. And you did something like that. So disrespectful. If I ask you to do a video or a photo, what's the problem? Here's the manipulation number 3, because we know that he wants the photos and video for his social media and to like uplift his social media standing as well as promote his future acting career. However, he says, what if the embassy wants to prove that we're a couple? What would you do? Answer me. What would you do? Because you're not taking these photos and videos that I told you that you need to take. Now, do you need to, I'll let you answer this question. Do you need to have proof, digital proof, photos and videos of your relationship while you're going through the K-1 visa process?
I would say the lowest tier of proof of relationship is going to be single photos of you. Single photos of you in the city. If you want to show photos of us, of the couple doing activities together or doing activities with more family members, then that's fine. But single photos of you does not go towards showing bona fide relationship. That's the language they use, bona fide relationship. So no, on the top tier is going to be financial entanglement. Second tier is going to be letters from friends, family, joint lease, mortgages, utilities. Bottom tier, photos. Very, very bottom tier, single photos. What does that prove? Nothing.
That part, manipulation, that's what it proves. Manipulation. He's trying to twist something to be something that it's not. And that's what that is.
And the whole answer right now, with this gesture, disrespectful.
Disrespectful. Then Debbie goes on to say that, she was just tired and she didn't feel like taking a video. And he tells her that that's not an excuse. Excuse me? She's telling you that she doesn't live her life, because some people are not like that. I know plenty of people. I take a ton of photos, you guys, and a ton of videos. That's just who I am. I like to document my life and my family's and my friends' lives, all that stuff. But I know that that's me and that's my responsibility. A lot of my friends they're like, oh, I don't want to do this selfie.
Mm-hmm,
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like they just don't live like that. And that should be okay. Invest in a selfie stick if you're so enthralled with yourself and you don't want to put people out. I mean, come on. So he's mad that she didn't take the photo, and he's mad that she didn't apologize. And here's where the way he said it, you guys, the way this man said what he said and how he looked at her, I don't know about you, but it gave me the heebie-jeebies. He said in Egypt, women should respect the men. And not only in Egypt does it say it, it says it in the Quran. And then he goes on to, and he's basically saying the man comes before a woman and you never disrespect the man. Then he goes on to say that Debbie has been without a man for 20 years. So he uses her personal vulnerable information against her, which is a red flag, and says, so I think that she needs to learn how to respect men. Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
Are you offering to teach her? And what does that look like? Because this is a grown 55-year-old woman. I don't know. It sounded like a threat to me. I didn't like it at all. Scary. Red flags. Then, more red flags. He says, you can't have a temper with me or to me because I'll pack up and go home. And I said, so she can't have any feelings, but you can have a full-on baby temper tantrum and not use your words and then be pointing your finger at her and basically say, you have to do whatever I say you have to do and you have to do it when I say it. But she can't be upset about it or have feelings about it, or you're going to pack up and go. You should pack up and go immediately. And Debbie, as a 55-year-old grown woman, having this 41-year-old baby talk to you crazy, you should have him go home. Why? What are you getting out of this? He doesn't know how to communicate. He clearly doesn't want to be with you. What are you getting out of this? Because it can't be desperation. It can't be that you're desperate. Can't be. She goes on to say, okay, excuse me. So he says, you can't have a temper with me. I'll pack up and go home. And this is the last time that you're going to make me mad. Oh. And if you get mad again, then what? Then what? Because this is reeking of pre-toxic, dare I say, it's toxic DV pre-behavior. That's what it's reading to me, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree with you. He has very king baby behavior. He has behavior that would unfortunately provoke her into taking some action where she might be the one who's characterized as the aggressor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I do feel like we see a little bit of that in the clip for next episode, right? We don't know what it's about, but she seems like she's acting out of character.
Mm-hmm.
So then Debbie says, I don't know if you're going to understand this, but I'm going to try saying it to you and tell me if you understand. Those are her words. She says, I don't want to be your fan. I want to be your wife. And he knew exactly what she said and knew what she meant, but flipped it and said, you should support me and be happy because I have a dream. She can be happy for you and she can support you because she is supporting you right now by this whole process and filing and the finances and the time and the rent and the food and even the coffee you're drinking right now. So she is supporting you. So I'm not sure what you mean exactly, but here she is supporting you. And she can be happy with you without having to be your assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So his dream is to act, he said. And she said, well, my dream is to be happily married. And then I think I just answered my own question. So just like I said with Aisha, where she's like, insert man here because the ultimate goal was to get married. And we saw this with, what was her name? The other one that went to Morocco?
Emma.
Insert man here, same thing. Insert man here, let's get married. Aisha, insert man here, let's get married. It's like round peg, square hole or whatever. You're just jabbing and jabbing and jabbing and forcing it in until it fits, even though it doesn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. I don't know why some women are like that. And even some men are like that. I don't get it. Just so that you can say that you're married or you can say you're in a relationship. Because what else could it be? because this right here is a hot mess. So instead of discussing and fixing the issue, because, you know, they didn't fix the issue, they're both still mad. She says that she wants her ring. What? What ring? Who's buying the ring? Are you buying it? Did he buy you a ring?
She said, poo-poo to this conversation. Let's advance my fantasy.
Right, you guys, and this delusion is what I don't understand. So we're not going to talk about not wanting a baby, wanting a baby. We're not going to talk about the traditional roles that a lot of these men on this season are taking seriously, like head of household things, no talking to men thing, no disrespecting thing. No, like, we're not going to talk about that at all and have a successful, happy, healthy relationship. It just make sense to me. Because I'll tell you what, you might be happier and healthier single on your own than going along with a bunch of stuff that you don't really want to do. I'm just saying, I don't get it.
It's possible. I know that people have sometimes made it seem like being single is being reclusive, cat lady, and sad and angry, but it really doesn't have to be that way. You can create your own singlehood. You can craft it exactly the way that you want to. You know, I've been having an idea lately about something I want to do. I want to have a room that's just my period room, my menstruation room, that has all the comforts. And I just live in there and I can do that because I'm single.
Do it.
I can do that.
Do it. Even if you weren't single, you could still have a period room. If you have the room to do it, do it.
Same. I'm so excited about this idea.
I say go for it. That's all I have for this episode. I will tell you guys that I looked at the preview of the next episode and it's going to be a wild ride for all of us. That's it. You want to add anything, Abby?
Nope, I'm ready for it. So come back and let's chat. Don't forget, I'm still in Linda's line. Don't forget to subscribe and like and talk to us in the replay. You know, tell us how you're feeling about the episode, what you want to see in the future.
I forgot there was a question last episode, and we'll get to it, you guys, because we've run a little bit long. But our last episode, we had a question about how, I wrote it down, how did Katie sponsor Josh with no job because she doesn't work? But then I think you kind of answered it, because maybe he didn't get sponsored in a K1 visa, maybe he just came over, but we'll talk about it next episode.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, guys. Toodles.
Toodles. Good night.
Thanks, Joslo.